All right, guys, welcome to your favorite booktubers video podcast. Today we are reading Charles Handy's The Age of Unreason. I think the major takeaway for me from this book is really about the idea of seeing the work as a portfolio. By the way, guys, sorry, I forgot to plug my own podcast. This is a video version of the podcast. There's my Goodreads account right there. Follow me to see what I'm currently reading and then subscribe to the podcast. Okay, back to this one. So the thing is Charles Handy thinks that we only seen professional work, the work that we are generating income from as work. We don't really see others as work, the other time that we are spending. So we usually not trying to manage our time properly, right? So Handy thinks that we should really see works as a portfolio, and we should treat it like an investment portfolio where we're trying to diversify our time, we're trying to make the best of it, and instead of letting our attention drift us to different places, to different areas. So the basic idea is everything we do is work, right? Like you might say, oh, Kevin, this is too tiring. I don't want to work all day. That's not the basic message here. The message here is not really trying to convince you to work all day. The message here is we should be more intentional in terms of where we choose to spend our time. We should try to at least assign some of the time or responsibilities that we have, at least to spend time mindfully, right? And we should really see our leisure time as something that, yeah, we should do something that we enjoy, but we should trying to get things done or trying to refresh in a sense that maybe we're watching a movie, maybe we're watching a documentary, maybe we're trying to watch a TV show, but we are trying to spend the time wisely, right? So here's what I want to spend the most of our podcast on today. It's just ideas of 5 types of work, right? So to really just categorize your life, so to speak. So here's what we have. So we first have is the pay work, right? So the bucket that what we can call this is professional work, where we actually make money from doing the stuff that you're doing, right? So the first one is obviously the salary work, right? Like that is the bulk of your income, right? We generate our money, our monthly payments, we generate our bills, money, right? It's all coming from this particular one. I think we all know how to prioritize that. I think we all know how to be a good worker, right? At least how to be professional, right? Like that is the amount of income that you generate from that job description. Now, secondly, we have is fees-based work, right? That might be your side hustle, right? If you're going to high school, that might be your summertime mowing the lawn money, or it might be a car wash money. It might be just something that you do on the side, right? That also generate an income. And then after that, we're gonna have our personal work, right? I had a tough time categorize like my leisure time as work, but I think Charles Handy really changed my idea about that. So we have the homework, right? It's not homework where a person writes a paper and turn it in. It's actually the time that we spend at home, right? And that could be cleaning, cooking, maybe children time, right? Or reading, listening to podcasts, watch movies, take care of your dog, right? So we call that a homework. So couple categories in, we can see that how work-life imbalances can happen, right? We spend too much time with professional work. We don't spend enough time at personal work, right? Now, We also have a study work within a personal work. Maybe read, maybe listening to a podcast, maybe take an online class, right? So those things can have a future benefits, and it also can generate a later on maybe a skill, maybe can make you sound more popular at your next debate or a water cooler talk, get you more informed. And last one is gift work, right? So the type of work that you provide as a benefit to the society, maybe volunteer at the hospital, maybe do a good thing for a certain people. So those are the five types of work that Charles Handy think we should categorize or we should manage our life under. Like I said, most people are getting very good at managing the professional work because that's how we need to do to earn money, but we kind of let our personal work left in the air. We don't really have the intention to regulate or to use our personal work, right? So let's use another example. So we have $50,000 in front of us, right? And most of us think, okay, if I make $50,000 a year, I'm a pretty good owner, right? Per person. So let's say the average income for me, let's say is $50,000, right? Or person A, Bob Smith, or Jeff Smith, whatever. So let's do some math, right? So if we manage our time as a portfolio, we can kind of break it down to maybe $250 a day if you can make that, right? Times 200 days, that's $50,000, right? Check mark, like mission accomplished. Then we have 365 days in a year. Then you minus that 200, that will give us 165 days, right? So that is the amount of time that we are not utilizing per year, or we are not spending time to use it wisely. So how does that bring you value? Maybe you should have a side hustle. Maybe you should do something, right? Like maybe you can double or triple that money, or maybe you can try to do something that's maybe brings value to yourself or brings value to your family, right? Like how do you define value is really up to you. But if we think about it in this particular way, then how do we spend a third of a year pretty much every year? How do we spend it is actually really, really important. And I feel like this is a very, very interesting way for Handy to like outline it for us and then to really understand, okay, is this really the best use of my time? And going off of there, right, we should really think about how to prevent burnout, right? If you're tracking your time, the balance between work and life should be even, right? The time that you are making money from, and then the time that you're not making money directly per se, but you should have other values attached to it, right? And an example for me is I like to combine homework with a study work. I like to clean the house. That usually takes me like a couple hours, and I usually listen to a podcast or audiobook while I'm at it, right? So, in a sense, that the age of unreason, in my own personal view, like this is my perspective only, is that we are not really managing or spending our time logically or reasonably, right? So in a sense that we don't have enough mental control, or we're not thinking deeply or thoughtfully enough for us to really think, okay, is this really the best use of my time, right? And we live in an attention economy where everything is fighting for your attention, right? TikTok, Netflix, the autoplay function, social media, the doom scrolling. So if we don't think about how we spend our time, if we don't think about how we should spend our time, then we're gonna misuse those 165 days in a year, right? We're gonna misuse like a third, maybe more than a third of our time in a year we're gonna just waste it. We're just gonna let it pass with no value assigned to it. And I think that to me is actually a crime, because money is, we can spend it and we can make it, but time and attention in a day or our willpower is limited, right? I feel like everybody, thank you, Darren, for providing us with this cartoon. But I feel like we all struggle with this on a daily basis, and then our left shoulder. Well, when you're watching this movie is on your left, but the actual is your right shoulder, right? Your right shoulder is the one that often leans heavy, right? Leans heavily, and this is something that I feel like is a great mystery in our time, because we keep talking getting things done and productivity, but we don't really see how we value our time in that particular case. All right, I'm going to leave this podcast with this example. So I was listening to this podcast. It was earlier Tim Ferriss show. I think it's 217, 214. He was interviewing a chess prodigy, Adam Robinson. He had dinner with Warren. He knows Warren. Adam was very, very deep in the finance world. And during the dinner, right, I think it was probably one of the Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting in Nebraska, and then they were having lunch and or dinner. I don't really remember the details, but let's say it's dinner. So Warren was talking about, like, that's all I have. The assets is money, right? Warren is known for not being really, really emotional, right? He's not an emotional investor at all. So Warren is saying, it's telling everybody, hey, like, the only thing that I don't have enough of right now is time. So he pulled out this day planner that he got, right? It's just a regular day planner. And then he opens it up, it's all empty, right? So what that means is Buffett is not letting everybody control his time, and Warren Buffett doesn't want everybody to control his time because he's too valuable. I think that's a take-home lesson. So what should we think about when the next time that we just want to Netflix and chill, right? Just want to mindfully watch something or scroll on our phone. What are you actually getting with that time you use on your devices? Warren Buffett don't let anybody to put anything on on his calendar, and all he does is just read, right? Read the financial report, think about the decision, the next investment that he's going to make. That's how he become Warren Buffett of today. So I'm gonna take a shot here. Like, this is not planned, by the way, guys. This is just me writing this on the fly when we're recording this. I want to kind of like put down my work portfolio out, kind of just like do some brainstorming with you guys. And I encourage you guys to do the same as well. Like, what do I have in my time and how am I spending my time, right? So typically, here's how I spend my work day. So my paid work day is probably, I want to say, 9 hours a day, roughly. Like the time that I spend, I have the focus at working. And my homework, I walk Hank, my dog, as you can see from the picture. I walk him for about maybe like 2 hours a day. That's counting feeding him and walking him and all that stuff. And a study work, I trying to do maybe 2 to 3 hours each day, roughly, just for reading. And then podcast and audiobook, I trying to do that when I'm working out or when I'm doing my morning routine. And I want to say maybe I clean, but not every day though. Maybe like I spend around 4 hours a week cleaning. So I can usually contribute it to homework or study work, right? I listen to podcasts or audiobooks when I'm cleaning as well. So I'm trying to get some knowledge from there. So where we are right now, like 11 hours a day, 13, 14 hours a day. Yeah, that's roughly about the time that I spend. I don't really watch anything long form during work days. So I'm trying to watch less and less. I'm a fan of certain shows. I very rarely binge. I always trying to at least make sure that I get some reading in before I watch anything. Sometimes I just say, oh crap, I'm just reading all day. I'm kind of tired mentally. Let me watch a movie just to like unwind, so I don't have to use my brain, and that usually happens on my day off or on my weekends, right? So gift work 0 hours, right? That is something that I need to change. Some volunteer work or something, but maybe that's a new year resolution thing that I'm doing for this year 2021. So um, yeah, that's it. I'm reading 200 books a year again for 2021. So I have a daily podcast to keep me motivated, and I need to just keep on reading every single day. And I do believe that reading is a muscle. And over the weekend, I maybe watch 3 4 hours of movies or TV shows and whatnot. And that was my portfolio for my work. So guys, thank you guys for watching this. Sub this channel, hit the bell, and subscribe to the podcast. Like I say, guys, I'm trying to allocate my time more and more towards reading and learning that home life and a study time as well. Alrighty, thank you. Bye.